His final arrow rockets toward the championship's heart. The arena erupts. The third set ignites. Young prodigy Yu Sang-hyun knocks his last bolt, draws, breaths, steadies. The release will crown the champion. The announcer flashes his tag, Manga Galaxy. Across the hollow screen, the commentator teases the final shot, dubbing it the cherry on top. Tension spikes as the arrow hangs in the balance. Yu Sang-hyun lets the arrow sail. A silver streak whistles across the arena, leaving a bright tail. Spectators' eyes track its glide, hearts thudding as it nears the bullseye. The bolt slams into the center, cleaving the target in two. The live feed shouts, "Another bullseye!" The crowd erupts. Yu exhales a relieved phew after the paperwork clears. He feels the weight lift. He urges, "Stay tuned to Manwa with Hari, or you'll miss the climax." The arena still reverberates, and the announcer prepares to proclaim his championship victory. The announcer bellows, "A literal godsend. Today, the youngest national champion stands before us." The crowd roars as Yu raises his bow, basking in triumph. His win solidifies his streaming reputation and sparks the next challenge. Yu flips through dusty manga volumes, counting the years since his arrows first ruled the field. 10 seasons have slipped away, his former glory now a distant echo. The price tags, 60, 90, 40 million credits, each a mountain for a 9-to-5 worker. He stakes his goal: slay a virtual boar with a bow within 15 victories, a daring benchmark that will ignite his chat. The chat erupts in nonsensical spam, cheap insults flying like arrows. He brushes them off, staying locked on his target. A rival soon steps forward, daring his bow's legitimacy. "You can't even use a bow," a viewer taunts. Yu fires back, insisting anything's possible despite lag, blaming the capsule's delay. He vows to prove his mettle, ready to sacrifice everything for a perfect shot. He vows to lay everything on the line, craving the respect of every watcher. He gathers his belongings, clears his desk, and steps into the night-lit streets. Relief and uncertainty clash as neon signs flicker. He strides toward his modest studio, ready to reboot his life. He bursts into his cramped apartment, drops his bag, and unpacks a high-end rig. He slots the VR capsule, boots up the full dive world, and watches his avatar, a clumsy squirrel named Almond, materialize on the loading screen. The first broadcast ignites. The stream overlay blooms with a banner reading Manga Galaxy. Beneath, a caption flashes, "Youngest National Archery Champion, Yu Sang-hyun." The reveal ties his real-world glory to his new online persona, sparking immediate chatter.
He ponders whether his signature arrows will translate to the digital arena. A perfect shot could catapult his viewership. He decides to test it now, aiming for a dramatic, share-worthy clip. A surprise chat challenger appears. He watches Bubblegum's stream, noting she ranks modestly among players. Most viewers gravitate toward her lively personality. Counting the swarm of skilled streamers, he realizes competition is fierce. He vows to differentiate with unique arrow tricks. He likens streaming to a fresh sport, the arena filled with buzzing viewers cheering like spectators. His archery could become a competitive spectacle, turning hobby into high-stakes event. A rival soon throws down a duel challenge. He launches his signature arrow live, turning the simple release into a high-stakes spectacle that electrifies the bubble-styled chat, forcing every watcher to hold their breath for the perfect hit. He bets his reputation on the single bolt. A flawless strike could catapult him to streaming stardom, while a miss would lay bare his hubris and alienate the growing fanbase. As the arrow arcs toward the target, the stream glitches and a cryptic chat alert from Royal Barrett flashes, warning that an unseen rival plans to sabotage Yu's ascent.
Your support means more than you know. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari and be part of something real. The bow snaps, one miss could shatter the galaxy. Yu Sang-hyun steps into Lala Coffee. The clerk eyes him. Buying a capsule? He nods, pulls out his wallet, counts the dwindling bills, and wagers everything on a full dive capsule. The transaction drains his savings, thrusting him into a high-stakes gamble. In the corner, his old friend Ju Hyuk spots the receipt and raises an eyebrow. Ju Hyuk slams his palm on the table. You're blowing all your cash on a game? Are you insane? He roars. Yu Songyun fires back. I've never even held a controller. He thrusts his empty wallet onto the surface, declaring the capsule his sole lifeline. He strides to the counter, asking, Do you rent or sell these capsules? The clerk yells a rapid reply, waving toward towering stacks. Yu Songyun repeats, Manga Galaxy, I need one now. The frantic tone reveals soaring demand and dwindling inventory. A manager steps forward, ready to negotiate terms. A smooth-talking salesman, Lee Kong-suk, greets him with a warm smile. Heard you're after a capsule, he says, sliding a discounted, leftover unit across the desk. He gestures toward a back office, claiming authority over the rental suite. This cut-price deal could finally fund Yu Songyun's full-dive ambition. Yu Songyun steps into Manga Galaxy, aisles brimming with full-dive pods. Yu the capsule's menu, points, and declares, This one. He presses the confirm button, sealing his entry into the simulation. The gesture shifts him from hesitation to full commitment, risking the pricey capsule for a shot at LP. The capsule projects a virtual map labeled Thebes. Yu Songyun eyes the stylized landscape, muttering, Much better. The scenery swaps the mundane shop for an ornate arena, signaling that his upcoming trial will unfold within this crafted city. The clerk declares, This capsule stores fortune. He then announces the game, Real Olympics. The simulation will pit Yu Songyun's archery skill against Olympic-level standards, directly linking his former sport to the virtual arena.
He whispers, Can I handle this? My hands shake, clenching the bow tighter. He fights the chill creeping up his arms. The capsule records rising stress levels, flagging his vitals. The final target looms, and the system readies the score tally, poised to reveal his fate. Yu Songyun steps onto the simulation floor, lifts his bow, and feels his heartbeat spike. A mental caption pops. Why is he so jittery? Spectators murmur that players often get nervous. Though his posture appears calm, his grip tightens. Any tremor could shatter his perfect record. He stands motionless, posture immaculate. Yet his mind questions his sudden anxiety.
A user leans forward, demanding, What's your friend's true identity? A terse reply echoes, MO. The system logs the term as a data packet labeled Friend ID. The AI briefly highlights the entry before erasing it, as if to conceal the information. Observers exchange uneasy glances, realizing the dismissed colleague might have embedded a secret code. The biometric readout spikes precisely when the word appears, hinting at a concealed link between Songyun's performance and his former associate. Cursed! That was amazing! A spectator yells, eyes wide. He adds, It'd be wasteful if he only bought a second-hand rig. Another voice asks, Are you okay? Feeling motion sickness? You look exhausted. The health monitor flashes a red fatigue warning.
Songyun unleashes 10 flawless arrows in the real Olympics simulation. The arena erupts with 10-point cheers, and the avatar flashes the enigmatic streamer Amon shouting, Manga Galaxy, me. Songyun's health meter spikes into danger, exposing the fragile cost behind his triumph. Hopeful fans rally, vowing to support the youngest champion whose rise now teeters on a blade's edge. Amon's true motives linger, leaving Songyun's fate dangling between salvation and ruin as the simulation flashes a cryptic Manga Galaxy warning, promising an explosive showdown.
Final chance. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari.
The genius archer's debut stream ignites, timer screaming down. A teammate's voice cuts through the headset. It's been ages. Do you still feel an arrow's bite? Adam's pulse spikes, flashbacks of a shattered arm flooding his mind. The old wound claws at his confidence, threatening to shatter the live broadcast before the first bandits even crest the horizon.
Been so long since you shot an arrow, do you remember?
The countdown blares, and the first ragged band of raiders rushes forward. The old crash reverberates, a phantom sting that tightens his grip. Adam recalls the surgeon's ice-cold gaze, the splint that stole his bow arm, the shattered bowstring that once sang. The Avatar awakens in a shadowed camp, eyes snapping open as he scrambles onto a battered wooden pallet. The clang of steel rings from nearby mercenaries' honing blades. The cold, gritty atmosphere mirrors the game's unforgiving style. Adam grips his virtual bow, poised for the first clash. A weathered supply cart looms nearby, sparking his curiosity. Surveying the supplies-laden cart, the Avatar shouts, "Where am I?" In a cart. His voice trembles with disorientation. The scene underscores his bewilderment, priming the first combat trial.
Where am I in a cart?
A stern mercenary captain strides forward, eager to gauge his mettle. Amon slides open the quiver tab, 20 arrows glinting inside. He hits equip, and the chat explodes with jokes, flooding the screen. He knocks his first arrow, the count reassuring him of ample supply. The surplus quells any fear of running dry mid-battle. The first wave of foes rushes forward. The mercenary captain strides forward, sneering, "Hey rookie, get a grip, pathetic wretch, attack," brandishing his sword. His harsh words spur Amon into motion. The insult cranks the stakes, demanding the streamer prove himself against a seasoned veteran. The captain readies his next strike. The captain's taunt fades as Amon releases his arrow. A bright damage number spikes, confirming a perfect hit.
Amon unleashes a storm of arrows, each flawless headshot slashing enemy HP and thinning the ranks. He pushes the tempo, fearing the next wave will crush him. A distant horn blares, heralding a larger formation of shield bearers. He must adapt his rapid fire to this new threat. A massive shield bearer line surges forward, testing his speed. Amon surveys the field, dozens of foes sprinting instead of holding positions. He notes the shift. Moving targets demand timing, not merely aim. He tightens his grip, readying his bow. With limited arrows, each miss could be fatal.
They're not stationary.
He locks onto the charging first wave.
The aftermath. Bandits lie strewn, but a lone shield bearer still holds the line. He narrows his gaze, aware that this final foe could end his stream with a single misstep. He knocks another arrow, targeting the bearer's skull. The tension spikes, one miss and his broadcast ends. The next shot will determine whether he eliminates the last adversary. The chat erupts in a flood of nonsense. What's happening? Headshots? Bug. While memes and random characters spam the feed. The din drowns out in-game sounds. Amon watches, half amused, half pressured to sustain the action. Through the chaos, a battlefield voice finally breaks through. A URL bar flashes atop the stream window. Yu Songyun clicks copy, storing the link for the chat, inviting newcomers to join the Kingdom Age broadcast. Sharing the address boosts visibility but risks revealing his location to rivals. A viewer then mentions a strange stream they saw. A chat note flashes, "I saw a strange stream today." An anonymous user hints at a rival broadcast that could siphon viewers. The prospect of competition unsettles Amon, who wonders if this mystery stream will impact his subscriber goals. Soon, a viewer reacts to his bow usage in Kingdom Age. Amon's name blazes across the UI, the streamer tag flashing as the mercenary captain demands his identity, transforming a simple archery demo into a high-stakes live showdown. Amon swells with pride as the chat lauds his skill, yet the sudden exposure jeopardizes his anonymity, forcing a choice between fame's validation and the safety of staying hidden. A cryptic viewer whispers of a rival's strange stream, while the mercenary captain vows to report Amon's name, leaving the archer's fate dangling amid unseen foes and looming surveillance.
Not everyone finds recaps this good, but you did. Protect that advantage. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari.
A rogue archer snatches the title. Every legion now hunts him. The forum flashes a board called Hot Compilation. An admin drops a guide on monster hunting and skill decay avoidance. Another post warns about armor upgrades and skill tree balance. A returning combat rookie asks how to preserve his skill tree. He also begs for PC specs to boost performance. The chat repeats the advice over and over, turning the thread into a clamor. The noise shows the newcomer under mounting pressure. The rookie's first bow challenge broadcast looms. The thread receives a garbled message, Dolzaga. No tag identifies the sender. Users reply with question marks, their confusion palpable. Random characters fuel the board's chaotic vibe. A commentator asks how complete rookies could pull off the bow challenge. They wonder if the boss fight was too hard for newcomers. The question casts doubt on the streamer's abilities. Others argue the challenge may have been simplified. The debate raises stakes for the upcoming duel. Pressures Manga Galaxy to prove his skill. Conversation shifts toward the Legend Electron as the next focus. A user spots the legendary Archer Electron from past top rankings. They recall his former pro-gamer career and bow challenge glory. Another asks how a brand new account could match Electron's level. They claim Electron retired and is too elite for this game. The comparison threatens Manga Galaxy's credibility. It sets up a direct rivalry.
Songyun checks his stats and announces he reached about 20 viewers by the end of the broadcast. He then apologizes repeatedly, showing his embarrassment over the modest count. This moment highlights his growing anxiety about performance and his need to attract more fans.
By the end, I had about viewers. I'm so sorry, I'm sorry.
He now worries about the looming challenge from the legendary Archer Electron. Songyun wonders how he managed any viewers on his first day, crediting his almond nickname as a lucky charm. A colleague mocks his talent, asking why he even streams with such skill. The dialogue exposes his self-doubt and external ridicule, raising the stakes for his next broadcast.
Songyun asks himself how long he's felt this way, his voice echoing in the empty studio. He notes the surprising surge of energy that stems from his anxiety. The feeling fuels his focus, sharpening his aim. Yet the lingering dread hints at burnout if pressure doesn't ease. This mix of adrenaline and worry will test his resolve in the upcoming tournament. The next broadcast will pit him directly against Electron, the Archer King. Manga Galaxy looks at his avatar on the stream. He smiles. He declares he finally feels like a true sportsman, despite his noob avatar. He says the line aloud, confirming his confidence. The comment marks a shift from self-doubt to pride.
Manga Galaxy sighs loudly, then jokes, "They say even a dog shouldn't be disturbed while eating." He waves his hand, dismissing the comment as nothing serious. He mutters an insult toward his manager, calling him Park, that son of. The jab shows his growing frustration with Park's demands. It matters because tension with his manager could jeopardize his streaming schedule.
Manager Park, that son of a.
He tries to calm his nerves before the next segment. Manga Galaxy forces a laugh, saying, "Ha! Let's calm down." He steadies his breathing, trying to regain composure. Yu Songyun appears on screen, thanks Manga Galaxy for help, and promises to buy him a drink later.
Manga Galaxy shouts a surprise count, calls Yu Sang-hyun, then loses the crucial message, igniting a frantic scramble as the chat erupts. He steadies his breathing, yet his confidence erodes, risking his reputation with the manager and the loyalty of his ever-watching audience. Yu Sang-hyun waits for the revelation, while the unknown's secret looms, threatening to upend the upcoming seminar and Manga Galaxy's fragile control.
That impact was felt through the screen. Subscribe to Manwa with Harry for more.
The hololink glitches just as the bandits close in, the mission collapses. Lee Hyun-woo faces his comrades, insisting this isn't a simple pastime. He thanks those who stayed after yesterday's chaos, stressing that every pulse of data sustains his life. His raw gratitude sets the tone for the looming escort.
Thanks for coming back. Yesterday was wild, but we keep going.
He powers up the full dive rig and plunges straight into the next quest. Lee Hyun-woo engages the start sequence. The full dive ignites. His archery instincts flare. The virtual bow mirrors his real-world technique, as if his brief pause honed his aim. Roman nods, gestures toward the mercenary captain waiting in the tavern. Panic spikes as the front line cracks. Lee darts to shield the rear column, ducking behind shattered wagons. Roman commands the mercenaries to guard the noble while Lee picks off snapping riders. Arrows rain, the convoy's formation shatters. Lee's reflexes keep the noble from being trampled. The breach forces a desperate retreat toward the looming hills. Their next target is the hidden bandit camp deep in the forest. Lee watches the regrouping bandits, hearing a commentator compare the chaos to a roaring stadium. He recalls that mercenaries were once bodyguards, not soldiers, and notes the route's notorious reputation for bandit extermination. The crowd's jokes about Manga Galaxy echo, but danger looms.
A teammate mutters like Manga Joe in bright green, a playful nod to a favorite series. Others chuckle, keeping the mood light as the chase continues. Lee glances at the screen, nods, and refocuses on the moving targets. A hidden rider launches a sudden volley, testing Lee's reflexes. The next wave of bandits emerges on the horizon. Lee spots a cluster of riders thundering across the dirt, their horses kicking up dust. He lines up a shot, fires a bolt that pierces a saddle, toppling a rider. The onlookers cheer his precision. The new wave forces Lee to adapt his strategy on the fly. A sudden ambush from the rear threatens to overwhelm the party. A prompt blares, bow challenge initiated. A target dummy materializes on a distant hill. A crude remark calls the archer a pervert for aiming at the dummy. Lee draws his bow, eyes the target, and releases a precision shot. Hitting the bullseye grants bonus points and unlocks a rare item, which may prove vital against the bandit captain. The upcoming bandit captain showdown looms. Lee Hyun-woo, streaming as Almond, spots the bandit captain riding ahead. He pauses, murmurs, maybe to himself, then nocks an arrow. He aims at the rider's chest, pulls the string, and releases. The arrow whistles through the air, striking the captain's torso. The hit disables the leader, leaving the remaining riders disoriented. Amond knocks a silver arrow, eyes the bandit captain atop his horse, and releases a perfect shot that pierces the rider's chest as a cryptic banner flares on the saddle. The arrow sings through the forest canopy, striking true. Amond's flawless kill fuels his pride, cementing his reputation as the one-shot legend, while his teammates scramble in fear, realizing the bandits now wield enigmatic symbols that could spell disaster. Their eyes widen as the banner glows ominously. Roman's baffled shout about the flashing symbols freezes the squad, the mysterious banner pulsing ominously as the onlookers wonder whether the bandits hide a hidden agenda that could shatter their fragile victory.
Serious Manhwa fans don't scroll past. They subscribe to Manwa with Harry and stay ahead.
Every released arrow becomes a flawless strike, erasing foes in an instant. The archer dubbed Amond outlines the game's critical system. A perfect hit to a target's vital spot instantly ends low-rank enemies. He stresses that this rule applies only to weaker opponents. Spectators absorb the principle, unaware that it will soon be shattered. Mira watches, questioning whether the rule survives against elite adversaries. Amond continues his commentary, revealing that boss-grade monsters shrug off ordinary critical blows. Even a perfect hit cannot finish them. He then hints at a concealed mechanic. Only a unique skill can surpass the critical system. This secret ability becomes the sole hope against the strongest foes. A sudden comment shouts, "He is a newbie?" across the arena. Spectators argue that a beginner shouldn't pull flawless shots. The accusation spreads, sowing doubt among newer fans. Amond brushes it off, but the tension hints at an upcoming clash with a challenger. The rival's avatar appears, eyes fixed on Amond. A spectator asks if Amond will shoot while riding, suggesting spears or bats could give more advantage now. Another argues that ranged arrows work better than melee. The crowd debates the optimal tactic for the next boss. Amond notes the suggestions and prepares to try a mounted attack. Jinwoo comments that shooting a narrow target from a horse must be hard. The arena explodes with the emoticon Ko, flooding the lower corner. Spectators spam the symbol, each Ko pulsing in time with the beat of the battle. The overlay shows the count climbing rapidly. No one says a word. The meme spreads faster than the arrows. The frenzy drives the hype higher, keeping the audience glued to the live feed. Suddenly, a donation alert blinks, demanding attention. A golden gift icon pops up, flashing Acorn Jelly Nim 1. The donation rolls across the bottom as the crowd cheers. Amond's avatar glows briefly, then the camera shifts to Mira sprinting forward. She kneels beside a fallen ally, checking for injuries. Her hands glow with healing light, mending wounds instantly. A final burst of text reads, Lane Ma Jo Sharper, followed by Lane Manga. The garbled phrases scramble across the lower bar, echoing the excited but confused audience. The words add no clear meaning but reinforce the frantic energy of the arena. Amond releases a flawless shot. The arrow pierces the crowd, and dozens of enemies collapse instantly. The arena explodes with disbelief. Typing Manga Galaxy Me, I can't believe this number of enemies can be wiped out in a flash. Amond. The reaction proves the perfect shot mechanic is real and terrifying. The hype pushes the audience to demand more of his impossible skill. Another comment laughs, saying the donor must be stunned by the sudden one gift. The same user urges Amond to give a reaction. Typing, just do the reaction. The crowd's excitement builds, pressuring Amond to showcase a dramatic response. The demand highlights how quickly the arena expects flashy content after a big tip. Amond fumbles, typing the reaction, what should I do? The crowd replies, telling him to mimic an arrow shot. React like you shoot the arrow shot. The suggestion ties his streaming persona to his archery skill. Amond worries about looking foolish, but the instruction gives him a clear plan to satisfy the arena. Amond logs back onto the arena after a sudden disappearance. Spectators flood the arena with surprise messages. You got out suddenly? And, you're a legend. The rapid praise shows his audience still idolizes him despite the gap. This momentum fuels his confidence to keep broadcasting. The crowd pushes him to showcase his skill. The crowd continues, noting the reactions of other spectators and calling Amond great talent. One user types, your talent is insane. The comments reinforce his reputation and pressure him to prove his claim. This builds expectation for a spectacular display. Fans now await the promised flawless shot demonstration. A spectator sends a one gift just as Amond's broadcast cuts off. The crowd immediately asks, when is Amond's broadcast again? The generous tip shows audience support, while the sudden stop raises doubts about his schedule. It matters because the community's investment forces Amond to consider a regular streaming slot. Amond plans a comeback with a scheduled broadcast. Several fans enable the Amond notification button after the abrupt ending. One types, is there a set broadcast time I haven't seen it? The group seeks a fixed schedule to catch future broadcasts. It matters because establishing a timetable could lock in viewership and boost his influence. Duke Varkas watches the chatter, plotting to use Amond's reach. Amond ends his broadcast with a perfect shot that instantly kills the boss, flooding the arena with disbelief and meme-filled clips as spectators scramble to capture the one-shot climax. He gains explosive fame and generous gifts while teetering on platform policy violations, feeling the thrill of unrivaled skill clash with the fear of a permanent ban. Fans demand a fixed broadcast schedule and warn him about overexposure, leaving spectators hanging on whether Amond can sustain his meteoric rise without triggering a shutdown.
Don't let the algorithm decide if you see the next chapter. Subscribe to Manwa with Harry and take control.
The Genius Archer's live feed is hijacked. An ironclad contract slams onto his screen. Acorn Jelly reigns supreme in the Kingdom Age streaming arena. His channel at D0T0 limit flashing subscriber counts, 32 uploads, and a fresh clip soaring past 10,000 views. Numbers cascade as he waves to the crowd, instantly attracting sponsors and scheming managers. The weight of his massive fanbase turns into both a weapon and a target. Park's shadowy ultimatum hangs heavy, forcing a split-second choice. Acorn Jelly launches a live stream, 26 eyes glued to his gameplay. He leans into the lens, declaring his dream: evolve into a multi-tool streamer who can market merch and reel in sponsors. Acorn Jelly opens a direct message from Kim Juyuk, the streaming kingdom's top elite. Kim probes, what's your job hunt status? Review the contract clauses. He nudges Acorn Jelly to scrutinize the fine print that could shackle him. The stakes skyrocket as elite agreements hover.
Kim Juyuk, the top elites now FA? Job hunting, what do you think about these terms? Please look and conditions. At our terms and conditions once. If that.
The pressure mounts for a signature decision. Acorn Jelly exhales, recalling years of grinding under Manager Park's iron fist. He mutters, so. Then vents, Park's a total jerk. The bitter admission fuels his resolve to defy the collar's grip.
So,
Acorn Jelly probes the room. Does anyone truly back this? He invokes his moniker Manga Galaxy, insisting they can't squander the opening. He confesses his social awkwardness, yet vows to shoulder the pressure solo. The dialogue ratchets up the partnership stakes.
Are we really okay with that? Manga Galaxy, me of course.
He steels himself to seal the pact. Acorn Jelly showcases his metrics, follower count, a fresh almond clip, and videos climbing into the thousands. He wields the surge as proof of market clout, turning numbers into negotiation leverage.
Followers, Almond. Hello, this is clip 2XXX, video 2XXX.
Almond's stats now sharpen the bargaining edge. Acorn Jelly gestures. That guy next to me matters, underscoring Almond's value. Almond admits, I used to think I was thick-skinned. Now I see your social finesse. The confession marks Almond's rising respect, hinting at a tighter bond for the pending contract.
The person beside you is,
I thought I was thick-skinned, now I see you.
Park's shadow looms over the talks. Acorn Jelly probes, what's the new partner's vibe? Maybe yoga-minded? The manager replies, no elaborate backstory. The name card's already prepped by Tomasai. The note confirms all paperwork is ready, clearing the path for swift action.
What kind of person is he?
Acorn Jelly lays down the half-donation split, and the manager freezes, his mouth locked in bewildered silence, halting the negotiation dead in the water. Almond watches the fragile trust wobble, fearing a botched payment pact could splinter the guild's unity and strip him of his hard-won respect. The manager's vacant stare over the donation ledger leaves the split unresolved, and the specter of guild backlash looms, ready to derail the streaming venture before it ever ignites.
The manipulation is flawless. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari and take notes.
The profit share scheme explodes, forcing the archers to face a cutthroat corporate showdown. Almond's stream bursts with a massive donation, half of today's goal, sparking his jubilant shout. Acorn Jelly confirms the half-target hit, lauding the flood of funds. The cash surge proves the split works, yet it flags the corporation's radar. The crew senses that this influx could tip the balance of power.
Wow, smooth start indeed.
Half the donation today. That's huge, right?
They begin crunching the profit split, fearing the corporate levy. Kim Ju the donation ledger, noting the month-long minimum donation for Acorn Jelly stream sits at a pitiful low, enough to lock in several units. Lon spots a tidal wave of audience numbers, dwarfing his typical reach. He feels like a tiny fish in a colossal sea, questioning his role. He offers to steer promotion and veil the alliance until the perfect reveal. His plan shields the collab's potency from early leaks.
A collaboration. What could a small fry like me do?
Amon vows a one-shot takedown of the bandit chief. Amon declares a raid on the bandit chieftain of Kingdom Age, vowing a one-shot finish. He boasts his freshly forged consecutive shooting technique will cleave the boss in an instant. A challenger doubts the claim, demanding proof of a single arrow kill. The banter spikes tension for the looming high-risk assault. Amon declares a cut to the minimum donation threshold, inviting more modest supporters. Acorn Jelly nods, endorsing the inclusive plan. The crowd erupts, pouring contributions into the bar. The lowered barrier promises a constant stream of funds, vital for the next daring raid. The move paves the way for loftier offers.
Lower the barrier for subsequent donors.
The colossal Ruby Sword pledge soon follows. Amon expresses gratitude for the Ruby Sword, addressing the benefactor as Sir, and rallying the crowd to summon 100 more donations. Acorn Jelly announces Eggplant's hefty contribution, tagged Fighting. The Ruby Blade upgrades their arsenal while the sizable pledge spikes the profit pool. Both moves tighten the cash flow. Amon glances at the donor feed, thanking the patron again, calling the support love. He confesses he entered the kingdom only because Amelia guided him through the gate. The revelation exposes his dependence on a hidden heroine. The crowd reacts with surprised emojis, probing Amelia's mystery. His admission enriches his backstory, hinting at deeper alliances. The squad now ponders Amelia's role in the next mission.
Thanks, Emilia. Got into Kingdom because of you.
The bandit chief reappears, demanding a fresh showdown. The kingdom's folk abandon all chatter, fixated on Razanita, the whispered second heroine, a living legend. Amon steps forward, awe evident. Raz Anita, the second heroine? My lady, he asks. Amon muses that the mission feels far more nerve-wracking than anticipated. The full dive sensations blur the line between virtual and reality. He refuses to dismiss it as mere play. This awareness makes his focus the linchpin of success. Their avatars twitch, awaiting his next command. Amon watches the incoming signal, eyes narrowed. The HUD flashes a cryptic K-10 code. The squad exchanges puzzled glances. A garbled noise. TDCK Arsha H. O blasts from the speakers, jolting them. They suspect enemy electronic interference. Adapting to this tech becomes crucial. A faint alarm blinks, warning of incoming signals. A cry pierces the air. Ambush! Cursed! Where did they emerge? Arrow rain hammers the squad. The HUD blinks as a headshot streak ignites the icon. Amon's avatar radiates, consecutive shooting blazing. The skill activates instantly, granting rapid-fire arrows. The squad gains a fresh damage edge, and the crowd begins tossing cash. The donation meter spikes, hinting at larger profit shares. Speculation rises on the true firing speed of the new skill. The crowd bombards with questions. One wonders why consecutive shooting felt useless earlier. Another notes Andres landing every headshot while the skill is active. A third complains the skill is too swift, demanding justification. Their skepticism fuels more donations, as the audience wagers on the hype's endurance. Soon, chants of Amon's name echo.
One-shot headshot, impossible.
The bandit boss collapses, confirming the flawless headshot. The squad erupts in disbelief, laughing at the rarity of a single arrow kill. The event unlocks the consecutive shooting skill, sending donations and profit shares soaring. Their triumph proves Amon's archery still rivals his champion past. A fresh donation alert flashes, promising an even larger bounty. A voice queries if the mission failed, noting lingering enemies and doubting the headshot myth. The crowd buzzes with speculation. Suddenly, a donation spikes, prompting Acorn Jelly's reaction.
Jelly?
The unexpected tip hints at a covert sponsor, and the squad readies for the next high-reward raid. The crowd erupts with jokes about the perfect shot. The squad watches in awe as Amon lands an impossible one-shot headshot, the bandit boss crumbling instantly and triggering the coveted consecutive shooting unlock. The electrifying moment sends ripples through the crowd. The crowd rides a wave of triumph as Amon's legend soars, yet lingering foes and an unanswered raid commander loom, warning that this fragile victory could shatter with the next assault. Speculation erupts. A calm slime donation demands the boss's whereabouts, and the enigmatic raid commander's shadow hangs overhead, threatening to undo their hard-won momentum.
We don't skip the details. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari for the full experience.
The genius archer ignites a lethal collaboration as Acorn Jelly's looming execution casts a dark shadow. Robin cracks a Boutrick joke, wishing he could demo them for Sir Amond. Sir Amond leans in, eyes glinting at the whispered perfect shot. Their banter teases a secret skill that could tip the power balance. Yet Amond's flawless shot remains unseen. Acorn Jelly probes the chat, demanding proof of the legendary perfect shot.
Where's that flawless arrow?
Amond flashes a sly grin, hinting he knows the technique but refuses to unveil it now. A shadowy newcomer mutters, "This guy."
The host unveils a fresh competitive format. The collar stream, promising fame and richer earnings. Emojis explode as the crowd celebrates, and donations pour in. He claims the moment is perfect to debut the collar stream, tying it to the legendary perfect shot. A sudden glitch forces a frantic scramble, hinting deeper system trouble. A glitch spikes, prompting the streamer to exclaim, "Oops," as an odd glitch flashes. The chat floods with frantic reactions, then a relieved voice sighs, thinking the heat would have killed them. The incident underscores the stream's volatility and constant risk of technical failure. Tension remains high. Amond asks if the manga-style challenge endangers participants.
Arya types a brief reply, admitting she doesn't grasp the current situation. The crowd echoes her sentiment, showing even the analyst is baffled by the rapid events. This confusion highlights the difficulty of explaining the perfect shot mechanics live. Fans beg for clarification, but the stream pushes forward. Connor turns to Amond and asks if he's ready to reveal his face for the stream. Amond replies affirmatively, confirming his willingness. Connor notes typical streams start with 3,000 to 4,000 viewers, so they can tidy up first. He tells Amond to adjust his outfit before going live. The crowd watches, waiting for the reveal, while the donation counter climbs. The live face reveal will soon decide the stream's momentum.
Mr. Armand, ready to show your face and greet everyone.
Yes,
Connor opens his live feed, wishes you Songyun good luck, and declares the stream will go Manga Galaxy. He flips the on-air sign. The chat spikes as the collaboration is noted. Connor launches the collab broadcast, flipping the on-air sign as Amon steps into the spotlight, bow drawn, ready to unleash the legendary perfect shot arrow that could rewrite history. Amon risks his hidden identity for global fame while Connor wagers his reputation. The audience's hope hinging on the arrow's success to validate the perfect shot myth. The arrow trembles at the release point. The chat erupts with perfect shot, chance, and the frame freezes, leaving the arrow's trajectory and Amon's fate hanging in impossible suspense.
You're not just watching a recap, you're joining a movement. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari.
he trudges forward, a heavy sandbag dragging his shoulders, oblivious that the critical optimization code is still absent. Almond declares, "I'm Almond." Sam answers in Mandarin, his name echoing in Chinese characters. Both lock eyes on the glitch-filled feed, feeling the oppressive weight of the missing code. Every step cracks under the sandbag's drag, turning swift action into a clumsy crawl. Their stalled march warns that the looming quest cannot launch until the code resurfaces. Suddenly, host Murdy strides onto the scene, raising a hand to calm the chaos. "I'm Almond." Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, excitement erupts, chants of great, echoing through the room. A fan named Kaya gushes, praising Almond's looks and confessing surprise at his arrival.
Murdy bellows that the crowd count has surged past 33,000, demanding, "Subscribe like, pardon?" A puzzled voice mutters, I get it." The swelling numbers amplify the pressure on Li Huan to nail the perfect shot. The rising hype fuels the urgency of the upcoming challenge. A voice demands Amon's manager appear, seeking answers to a rumored mishap. The same caller insists, "I don't want to hear that," while questioning whether Amon truly grasps the incident. Another repeats a cryptic chant, "Manga Galaxy Mia, yes." The onslaught reveals mounting anxiety over Amon's real-world plight. Such tension threatens to fracture Li Huan's concentration as the perfect shot showdown approaches.
Li Huan spots a goblin den bordering the farms, where villagers lament relentless raids. He vows, "We'll locate the lair and eradicate the monsters." The squad erupts in cheers, hungry for a fresh run after weeks of grind. Goals sharpen. High scores, stat boosts, total annihilation. Consensus ripples, everyone grasps the plan.
Goblin cave nearby. We'll eliminate them.
The team moves inward, positioning the perfect shot target within the cavern. Li Huan breaks down the perfect shot mechanics. He reveals the system scores hits on vital zones, a tiny circle on the target's forehead, encircled by larger rings. Landing within the inner circle fulfills the first condition, mirroring true archery precision. He sketches a diagram, the lines flashing on screen.
A voice declares, "That's our Roman. He's carrying the show all." Zhao Zigu adds a meme, "Manga Galaxy me." The levity eases tension, yet the goblin cave still threatens the farms. The crew shares a brief laugh before refocusing on the perfect shot objective.
Manga Galaxy me.
The scene shifts to Li Huan drawing the decisive arrow. Li Huan addresses the assembled crowd, announcing the imminent perfect shot. Everyone leans forward, anticipation crackling for the moment he's honed since the code sync. The collective hype fuels pressure on his inaugural flawless strike. Li Huan steadies his bow, poised for the perfect shot. Voices erupt, a shout demanding, "Keep quiet," while another repeats a meme chant.
Li Huan murmurs, pledging a silent release to suit the ambush. He eases the draw, muffling the arrow's twang. A faint glow encircles the bow, marking silent mode. Shouts echo, "Manga Galaxy me that great." Cheering the stealthy tactic, the hushed arrow slips unseen toward the goblin nest.
Manga Galaxy me that great.
The rival challenger closes in, ready to interfere. Li Huan's towering frame dominates the battlefield, his calm confidence radiating without words. His posture exudes control. Echoes of Manga Galaxy me ripple, mirroring his presence. The contrast of massive build and pinpoint aim underscores why his perfect shot skill eclipses rivals.
Manga Galaxy me.
The challenger's threat looms, promising a split half strike.
Li Huan unleashes his newly optimized avatar, drawing a silent bow and loosing a razor-sharp arrow that cleaves the goblin cave entrance, while a glowing Chinese character flares, announcing a fresh skill tier. Triumph surges through him, breathless relief flooding his massive frame, radiating calm authority. The echoing cheers amplify his confidence as the silent shot promises a decisive edge against the looming goblin horde. Yet the orbital scan flickers, exposing hidden chambers and a pulsing crimson glow that hints at an unseen foe, leaving Li Huan poised on the brink of an ambush yet to reveal itself.
The line between good and evil is gone. Subscribe to Manwa with Harry.